Surely, at some point in your life, you've wanted to develop a new habit or eliminate a harmful addiction. This is a common human experience, the desire to evolve, to transform ourselves into a better version of who we are today. But you may have realized that despite the initial enthusiasm, change is far more difficult than it seems. The energy of the first few days dissipates, and suddenly, you're back to your old self, repeating the same behaviors you vowed to change. Why is this so hard? We've all faced this frustrating cycle, making plans, setting goals, feeling inspired for a moment, and then collapsing under the weight of our own impulses and habits. You start with great intentions, perhaps promising yourself to wake up early, eat healthier, work out regularly, or reduce your screen time. But after a few days or weeks, the motivation fades, and your old self resurfaces, stronger than ever. There's a reason for this recurring failure, and it's something almost everyone struggles with: discipline. Without discipline, no goal, no matter how noble or important, will be achieved. Discipline is that invisible force that pushes you to keep going when the excitement is gone. It's what makes you do what needs to be done, even when every fiber of your being is screaming for comfort, rest, or distraction. Think for a moment. How many times have you told yourself that this time things will be different? You make a plan, commit to your goal, and then nothing changes. You fall back into the same patterns. This is not because you are weak or incapable. It's because you haven't yet cultivated the crucial trait that allows people to change: discipline. Some people accept this cycle and normalize their inability to change, telling themselves that it's fine, that it's human nature to be inconsistent, to falter. But normalizing mediocrity is dangerous. It leads us to a life of stagnation, where we stop challenging ourselves, where we settle for less than we are capable of. Ultimately, it robs us of the chance to become the best version of ourselves. So, let me tell you something directly. If you find that you cannot overcome your addictions, change your habits, or fulfill your goals, you are most likely lacking discipline. And that's not an insult. It's an observation meant to help you. Because once you recognize this, you can begin to work on it intentionally, just like any other skill. Discipline at its core is the ability to overcome short-term desires. These desires are the primary enemies of personal growth. They seduce us with immediate pleasure, but steal from us the long-term satisfaction of achieving our goals. Whether it's the temptation to eat junk food, skip a workout, or scroll endlessly through social media, these urges are always present. That's why, in order to change your habits and reach your full potential, you must develop discipline. It is not about being perfect or never feeling tempted. It's about having the strength to resist those temptations when they arise. Discipline is doing what you should do, when you should do it, even when you don't feel like it. It's that simple and yet that difficult. In this video, I'm going to explain why discipline is so crucial for achieving anything meaningful in life. We'll also discuss why it seems harder and harder to be disciplined in the modern world. And of course, I'll share practical strategies that you can apply today to start building your discipline muscle. Before we go any further, I'd appreciate it if you could like this video. That simple action helps spread these ideas to more people who might benefit from them. And if you don't want to miss any future content, consider subscribing and activating the notification bell. Your support makes all the difference. Now, historically speaking, great thinkers have always emphasized the need for self-mastery. Philosophers from ancient times to today have argued that taming oneself through self-examination, self-control, responsibility, and objectivity is essential for living virtuously. And a virtuous life, according to them, is the only life truly worth living. Discipline is the cornerstone of this virtuous life. Without it, we are ruled by our whims and impulses, forever reactive instead of proactive. Discipline gives us freedom, the freedom to choose our path rather than being dragged along by desires that offer fleeting pleasures, but ultimately leave us unfulfilled. In the modern world, many people live as slaves to their desires without even realizing it. They confuse doing whatever they want with being free. But let me ask you, who is truly freer? The person who always sleeps in, neglects responsibilities, and never follows through on commitments? Or the one who wakes up early, meets obligations, and has the capacity to choose leisure when appropriate? At first glance, it might seem that the lazy person is freer. After all, they do what they want when they want. But in reality, they are trapped by their own laziness. They cannot escape it, nor can they choose to live differently. They are bound to a cycle of inaction and missed opportunities, unable to evolve or improve. Meanwhile, the disciplined person, who consistently fulfills their responsibilities, possesses real freedom. Every morning, they have the choice to act responsibly or not, and they choose discipline because they understand its value. They can enjoy leisure guilt-free, knowing that their duties have been met. This, my friends, is true freedom, the freedom to choose who you want to be. This concept applies to every kind of addiction or bad habit. Whether it's substance abuse, procrastination, or unhealthy eating, these behaviors keep us trapped. Discipline is the key to breaking free from these chains and reclaiming control over our lives. It allows us to act in alignment with our values, rather than being at the mercy of passing urges. Now that we've established how discipline leads to freedom, let's explore what it actually means to be disciplined. Every time you set a goal, whether it's losing weight, building a business, becoming a skilled musician or athlete, you must exert effort to achieve it. But one day of effort is not enough. Sustained, consistent effort is required, and that effort is made possible by discipline. Being disciplined doesn't mean you never feel like slacking off. It simply means that you've developed the strength to resist the urge to quit. The more often you resist these impulses, the easier it becomes to do so in the future. In this sense, discipline behaves much like a muscle. It grows stronger the more you exercise it. It's also vital to distinguish between discipline and motivation. Motivation is that initial spark that gets you moving. It's exciting and powerful, but also unreliable. Some days you wake up feeling motivated. Other days, you don't. If you rely solely on motivation, you'll never sustain the effort necessary to achieve big goals. That's why discipline is so indispensable. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going long after motivation has faded. Elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, prolific writers, they don't always feel like training, working, or creating, but they do it anyway, because they understand that success requires consistency. We all know that feeling, the desire to skip a workout, to procrastinate on a project, to give in to comfort. But not everyone acts on that desire. The disciplined person acknowledges the urge but doesn't succumb to it. This is the critical difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't. Unfortunately, modern society makes it increasingly difficult to be disciplined. Life has become incredibly convenient. In the past, survival required effort and resilience. You had to hunt for food, build shelter, and defend yourself from dangers. Discipline was a necessity, not an option. But now, survival is easy, and comfort is abundant. This abundance of comfort creates two major obstacles to cultivating discipline. The first is the overwhelming number of temptations. Television, video games, social media, streaming services, all compete for our attention. These things are designed to be addictive, to hijack our brain's reward system and keep us engaged for as long as possible. The second obstacle is the lack of resistance. An easy life offers fewer opportunities to practice discipline. If everything you want is available instantly, food, entertainment, communication, you never have to delay gratification. But without practicing self-control regularly, your discipline weakens over time, just like an unused muscle. Think about it. With Amazon, you can have almost anything delivered to your door within a day. Netflix lets you binge-watch entire seasons in one sitting. Food delivery apps bring meals to you in minutes. These conveniences are not inherently bad, but they can erode our capacity for discipline if we don't use them mindfully. As Seneca wisely said, "There is no one less fortunate than the man who has adversity, and he has forgotten that he has no opportunity to be tested." Without challenges, we miss out on the growth that comes from overcoming them. Comfort, when excessive, leads to stagnation and weakens our ability to handle life's inevitable difficulties. So, how do we combat this? How do we build discipline in a world designed to undermine it? The answer is to deliberately introduce challenges into our lives. Just as you wouldn't try to lift a 300-kilogram weight on your first day at the gym, you shouldn't attempt massive feats of discipline right away. Start small. Set manageable, realistic goals that push you just beyond your comfort zone. Gradually, as you achieve these smaller goals, you'll develop the strength and confidence to tackle bigger ones. Each success reinforces your belief in your ability to control yourself, and each act of discipline strengthens your discipline muscle. For example, commit to exercising regularly. Start by going for a short run a few times a week or joining a local gym. Not only will this improve your physical health, but it will also train your mind to persevere through discomfort. Exercise is one of the best tools for cultivating discipline. You might also consider participating in sporting events in your city. Signing up for a race, a martial arts competition, or even a charity walk can give you a concrete challenge to work towards. These events provide structure and motivation, while also demanding consistency and effort from you. Another great way to practice discipline is to learn a new hobby or skill, whether it's cooking, sewing, playing an instrument, or gardening. Dedicating time and effort to developing a new ability fosters patience and persistence. These hobbies enrich your life while simultaneously strengthening your capacity for discipline. Building something tangible is another powerful exercise. Whether it's assembling furniture, creating art, or starting a small business, engaging in a project that requires sustained effort will teach you invaluable lessons about perseverance, problem-solving, and discipline. Finally, consider adjusting your daily routine. One of the simplest yet most effective discipline challenges is waking up earlier. If you usually wake up at 8 a.m., try waking up at 7:30 a.m. Gradually adjust your schedule until you've reclaimed more time for yourself in the mornings. Early rising forces you to confront discomfort and can set a positive tone for your entire day. I hope that this video has given you valuable insights into the importance of discipline and, more importantly, practical ways to cultivate it. Remember, discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about choosing, again and again, to act in alignment with your goals and values, even when it's hard. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel for more content inspired by Stoicism and historical wisdom. Your engagement helps us continue to share these transformative ideas with a wider audience. Here are 2 other videos filled with Stoic philosophy and timeless insights that you might find valuable. See you in the next one.